And first of all, happy International United Nations Happiness Day. And what better way to celebrate happiness than knitting 3,000, actually close to 4,000 blankets been knitted by people throughout the country for a good cause. 67 blankets in honor of Nelson Mandela, but we've taken that up a notch to 4,000 blankets, which will be distributed to various organizations across the country. But even more importantly, 25% of those blankets stay in the Eastern Cape to help various organizations that are struggling in the winter season to keep warm. And the woman and the brains behind this beautiful creation that you see behind me shortly, which my cameraman will show you, what you see in the shot right now are 4,000 blankets in the center. Beautiful smile, celebrating International Happiness Day, and also in honor of Nelson Mandela with his 67 minutes. And I'm joined this morning by Carolyn Steyn, who is the founder of 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela. Carolyn, let's just first start to how this vision, I would call it, came about, that you thought, you know what, in honor of this great man, let me knit 67 blankets. And were you able to even do that?
No. However, I have come across the most incredible people over the past 11 years who have joined this movement called 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day. And because of the thousands of people around our country, incredible ambassadors who drive the movement, who get together with Knitwits for Madiba each and every week, here's a result. The biggest, the hugest happiness blanket in the world to mark International Happiness Day, a United Nations initiative. So let me say to you, happy International Happiness Day.
And what better way to drive happiness by making sure that the less privileged are taken care of? And you're saying to yourself that when it comes to June and July, which is our coldest in the Eastern Cape, blankets, not only even for children's home or underprivileged, even for hospitals, becomes a necessity.
Absolutely. And when you say 25% of the blankets are going to remain in the Eastern Cape, many of our ambassadors from around South Africa have said, please take more of our blankets. So I think it's going to be more like 35%, maybe more, of the blankets will remain in the Eastern Cape, which, you know, there's so much need, and the cold here is just unbearable. So we would like to bring warmth and happiness to communities in the Eastern Cape and around South Africa in the name of Nelson Mandela. If you look at every blanket, there's a label attached to every single blanket with the trademark heart logo, 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day. Who made the blanket? Handmade with love. So the recipient of each and every blanket will know for his or her entire life that Nelson Mandela is looking after me. That is how we, as 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day, are keeping Madiba's legacy alive.
And also, Karen, you were very privileged to also know him personally because your husband was quite close to him. And for someone who knew him closely, how much would this mean to him to see, number one, people from different races coming together under one cause, Ubuntu and love and peace and togetherness for a good cause, such as giving back to people? How do you think he would feel if he was in life now to see this happening in our time?
You know, Grassa Michelle, his widow, said to me, my dear, you do realize you found your calling. Madiba is smiling from above. My husband is also recently departed from this earth, and I would like to think that my husband Steyn and Nelson Mandela are looking down, I'm going to get emotional, from above and smiling with pride, and Madiba doing his Madiba jive, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there'd be Madiba would have loved this. I tell you, all these people coming together, creating warmth, coming together through bright, warm, colorful thread, people from all walks of life, as you said, all races, religions, socioeconomic backgrounds, really coming together. We are engaging with each other at knitathons, at events such as this, where you'll find a person from Stutterford Van Lines, who've been our logistics partner for 11 years, traveling thousands and thousands and thousands of blankets to and fro across our land to communities in need. So the coming together, you'll find people from Stutterford van lines, people from our housekeeping team, our Palazzo champions, sitting at the same dinner table with the likes of PJ Powers, General Bantu Holomisa, President Thabo Mbeki, who've been such supporters of 67 blankets. And you know, the fact that my husband had such a close relationship with Madiba, it was a father-son relationship, and I was very privileged as to have spent a lot of one-on-one time with Madiba. And what a beautiful man, and I think he's doing the Madiba jive.